Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Temple of Possibilities. I am Minister William, or Reverend Will if you wish, leading today's sermon of November 24th, 2024. And as always, we'll start with a moment of silence for prayer, meditation, or what have you. All right, thank you. Today's sermon is called Love is Like a Box of Chocolates. And it is from a new source that I found, Utilitarian Universalist Association. Love. It can be such a confusing word in our language. I can say I love my children. I can say I love watching Downtown Abbey. Both are both of these statements are true. But I assure you that my feelings for watching the adventures of the Crawley family pale in comparison to the connection I have with my children. Love means a lot of different things. People experience love differently. Even love might look the same on the outside. The ancient Greeks had something that helped. Different words for different kinds of love. One is eros. Eros is the passion that the young lovers feel from each other, where the god of love, which most of the world knows more as Cupid, got his name. In Greek, his name is Eros. Where was I? It's the romantic head over heels love that's also often connected with a physical attraction. Many of us think of the romantic love as adorable or even inevitable, and it can be. Eros is Eros love is what most of the songs on the radio is about. But the ancient Greeks often considered it dangerous because of its out of control nature and the way these feelings can get you into trouble. Eros is a powerful force. There is also pragma, or long-lasting love. Those of us who have been married for a long time know that the crazy new crush feelings does not last until the golden wedding anniversary. It is something else. It is a different love. Pragma is based on compromise and mutual regard and respect and tolerance. I have heard that when we start a relationship that we fall in love over time, we instead stand in love. That is pragma. It makes me sad when I hear that folks think that if the crazy Eros feeling fades, it means the relationship is over and that you need to move on to a new Eros. But the love of pragma, which sounds a lot like pragmatic to me, is a fine love that will see you through the hills and valleys that life offers up to us. It is comforting and warm love, even if it is not thrilling at the same time. Another word supplied to us by the ancient Greeks is philia, a love of deep friendship. We have philia for a comrade who we fought side by side with on the battlefield or in the trenches of a social movement. These are the old high school or college friends that we still feel so close to, or the poker group that has met every month for a decade. Phila is more consistent than Heroes, more reliable and lasting. There is Ludus, the playful love. Ludus can range from a flirtatious dance to a jostling that happens at Mardi Gras. Most of us have had experience of flirting with or suggesting kidding with someone just because it was fun. It didn't mean anything like a deep connection. It was just kind of a mutual game. Ludus is only problematic when it's confused with something different than that, what it is. Then there's agape love, the selfless love for other human beings. We often refer to that love as compassion or empathy. Agape is what keeps nurses warm and friendly as they care for a demented patient, and what urges the firefighters to run toward the Twin Towers. The Buddhists call it loving kindness. If you were to read the Christian Bible in the original Korean Greek, this is the word that you would see over and over, agape. In fact, the reading of the first Corinthians that we often hear, one about faith, hope, and love, isn't about the love between honeymooners. It's about agape. Here's part of the famous passage, with the word compassion inserted has a better translation than love. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and angels, but do not have compassion, I am a noisy gong or clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers, and I understand all the mysteries and knowledge, and if I have faith so as to move mountains, but do not have compassion, I am nothing. If I move away from my possessions, and I hand over my body to be burned, but do not have compassion, I gain nothing. Compassion is a patient. Compassion is kind. Compassion is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoings, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believing all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Compassion never ends. Prophecies will come to an end. Tongues will cease, knowledge will come to an end. Now faith, hope, and compassion abide these three, and the greatest of these is compassion. Last on the list of words of different kinds of love, and I want to butcher this word, is philatana, or the way you love yourself. This kind of love needs to be balanced. There is self-love that is positive, self-esteem and happy, and self-confidence. That's good. We need to love ourselves and treat ourselves as valuable people, because doing so helps us take good care of ourselves and provides a base from which we can love others. There is also the arrogant, narcissistic self-love that can be destructive. It can overshadow the compassion, agape love, and keep a person focused on themselves alone. That is not good. In the movie by the same name, Forrest Gump says, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get." Is that true of love as well? that you'll never know what you're going to get? Well, life is full of surprises, and love can be as well. Like love, chocolate comes in many forms. The confection that we usually think of as chocolate is made of processed cocoa beans mixed with some kind of fat and some kind of sugar. Now, how much fat and sugar and whatever else they add determines that a lot about what it tastes like. Have you ever tasted unsweetened baking chocolate? Blech. It's really bitter. Eating it isn't a pleasant experience. Bittersweet chocolate, on the other hand, is made of cocoa beans, cocoa butter, and sugar. The cocoa content is about 70%, and the flavor is kind of complicated. It is the pleasant sweetness of the fine chocolate, but is not very sweet. You can't eat too much of it because after too much, the bitter starts to show through. Milk chocolate has more sugar and less cocoa than bittersweet. There is no bitter aftertaste, so it's easy to eat. But after a while, it can start getting cloying in its sweetness. Chocolate can disappoint. Think about the mass-produced, inexperienced chocolate and coins of Easter bunnies. You see them and say, "Oh wow, chocolate." They they look like chocolate, they taste and they are brown like chocolate, but when you bite down, there are so many additives. So much so much partly hydrated soybean oil that the taste of the chocolate just is not there. Sometimes we keep eating it thinking that it must be good because it is, after all, chocolate, but it never works. I think love can be like this. Not everyone has the same terms of love, just as some of us like the 70% cocoa content while others like 35%. And then there are even those of us who like white chocolate. There is a wide variety of taste in what we look for in a loving relationship. Some folks want excitement, while others want comfort. Sometimes we don't get what we want. In the in terms of arrows and excitement, is it love or is it just a good time? The key to living in compassion and respect is to know what you seek and if you enter a relationship. Make sure you know what the other person seeks. In a moment, we will take part in a chocolate. Okay, this part is not taken. Uh, but in a moment, we'll take part in a chocolate consumption by passing dishes down the aisle filled with organic, fair trade dark chocolate mini bars. But we honor diversity in taste, so there is also a few good old Hershey kisses for those who would rather have those. Please take a piece of chocolate as a dish passes by and wait for you to unwrap and eat your candy. We're going to. I'm going to actually going to. Okay. Yes, love is like a box of chocolates, but we can involve some choice and some risk. Love and chocolate can bring joy, but it can also be kind of messy. Different people have different tastes and different desires. But know that your love and your life is honored here, and we grow in a compassionate community. Alright. Sorry, the part where they're doing the co-interaction part of the sermon, uh, since we can't possibly do that here because all of you are in different locations around the states than I am. but have yourself a piece of chocolate. There, this is. There are different types of love, and I think one of the greatest things we can do is love each other. One of the mottos of this church is to love each other for what we have in common, rather than hate each other for our differences. Other than that, it is almost Thanksgiving. Actually, this Thursday is Thanksgiving, so I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. And then next month will be Christmas. Actually, exactly a month from now will be Christmas Eve. So it is a very busy time of year right now for me, which is uh, one reason I am in my, I guess, my quick sermon uniform. And it has left me rather exhausted, which is why there was not a sermon last week. I was kept falling asleep, and I was unable to stay awake because it has been very busy. And this past week, I have been finding myself falling asleep so often. So the sermons might be hit or miss until after Christmas when things calm down and my body can rest more. But know that I look forward to these sermons. I look forward to talking with you. And remember, when we all come together, the possibilities are endless. Thank you.